Now, Storm Tracker 9 weather with Chief Meteorologist Justin Stapleton.
It's a soggy one out there tonight as the warm front that came through earlier this afternoon. It dropped about a quarter to about a half an inch. So not the big soaker that we'll likely be looking at as we headed towards our Saturday, but certainly you get a bit of a, we'll call it an early taste of what is going to be a wet 24 hours for us here across the Northwest. It's pretty much been a wet 48 hours if we really account for the last couple of days, excuse me, where we've seen some pretty good rain as well. Right now we're holding at 53 degrees, mostly cloudy skies outside. Winds have now shifted out of the north at the surface. Above the surface, as you'll see a second here, we still have them running up out of the south and southwest, and that's going to be the general direction, I should say, of the weather that's coming at us. That big area of low pressure that'll come swinging through here by tomorrow. All right, so here's what we've got right now. You can basically see most of that rain continuing to push northward as it does. That will keep things fairly dry for now. We're going to see that front basically orient itself north and south. What I mean by that is it basically heads all the winds just running along the coast as opposed to running crisscross, which is what we've seen most of the day today with that warm front moving on through. Now, here's what we'll watch with this, our big area of low pressure. Now, it's been pulling in some dry air. You see where there's a little bit of absence of some of the colors? Well, that's where we've got what we call a little dry air pocket that's kind of getting into the core of that. May weaken it some, and some of the computer models have actually been developing two lows. So you have the one to the south, and as it gets closer to the coast tomorrow, they develop another one just off of, let's say, Astoria and Tillamook. I'll be curious to see if that happens, because if it does, it may lessen the overall wind impact. Either way, I'm still expecting to see some high winds and rain for our Saturday, mainly as that storm passes through and we start to see the pressure lines, or the little, what we call the pressure gradient across the state, the imaginary lines of pressure that are there, kind of relax just a bit. So as we go overnight tonight into tomorrow, we'll see that first wave move on through right around sunrise. Then you get a bit of a break, and then we'll see the next one swing on through by the afternoon. So that said, here's what I think what we'll see. We'll see the first wave around sunrise, and then we'll see the strongest winds as the storm passes behind it into the early and mid-afternoon. Could see some coastal wind gusts approaching 50 miles an hour or higher. And here in the valley, we'll see sustained winds around 25 to 35 and gusts around 40. Now, because of the wet ground, this is the big problem that we may be looking at with that, is not only limbs down, but some of the weaker trees that have, let's say, shallower roots may get toppled over as well. So keep a real close watch on that. As we said, temperatures today were on the cool side. Knew that would be the case. Everybody at the coast was sitting at around the mid-50s to low 60s. Cool one here in Eugene. We only topped out around 53 today because we were stuck under the rain most of the day. For tonight, we'll go right around 54, 55, and you say, well, wait a minute, that's warmer than what the high was for today. Right, because we have the winds coming up out of the south. I think we'll actually rise a degree or two after midnight, and that will likely be our high for tomorrow, holding in the upper 50s. So as that storm moves on through, we've got a lot of chances for more scattered showers moving through even Sunday afternoon, and you see some of the pink and the blue up there in the mountains. That will be some slushy snow in some of the higher ski resorts. So think Mount Bachelor, Hoodoo, and possibly could see some at Timberline as well into the northern Cascades. So rainy and windy at the coast tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. Winds will relax later on in the afternoon as that storm passes. In the Umpqua, I don't think the wind will be that big of a factor, but you will get the scattered showers after the initial wave moves on through in the morning hours. For the Cascades, the winds will be a factor. High wind watches out for portions of the eastern slopes of the Cascade Range, and same thing out in central Oregon. We could see a very windy afternoon as highs will top out right around 60 degrees. For us here in the Willamette Valley, we'll go around 60 to 61. It's going to be rainy on and off most of the day, with the temperatures generally sitting at around 60 degrees. For the coast, we get a bit of a break as we get in towards our Sunday afternoon and evening Monday, but then another big storm, and in fact, that one might have some of the leftovers from the hurricane that's out near the Hawaiian Islands working its way in by Tuesday and Wednesday. So kind of a soggy forecast for just about everybody, including here in the Willamette Valley, although Sunday night into Monday, a bit of a break. And by this time next week, guys, looks like we got a nice little bubble of high pressure that might actually put an end to this, what we'll call has been a soggy 2-week stretch here.
It's one way to say it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the cleanest way I can say it on the news here.
Typically, I like leftovers. I'm not sure if I like your leftovers.
Yeah, we'll throw some sriracha on it, and we'll see how it tastes then.
I'm thinking Thanksgiving.
There you go.